few strange behaviours of narcissistic people that are usually going to frustrate you. And one of the first of these is they're not going to answer a simple question. They're going to skirt around the issue and dodge the topic of hand because they're looking to control the narrative. They're looking to avoid being held responsible. They're looking to avoid making a commitment, and they simply lack the empathy to care about your interests, about your needs, about your mental health. They're just interested in getting their own needs met. Ruining special occasions. Narcissistic people require being in the spotlight. They're looking for that attention. So anything that's not about them, they're very envious, and they often go all out to ruin it for others and often go all out to blame others so that they're not held responsible for their behaviour. Creating conflicts. Narcissists have an excessive need for control and dominance, which often creates those power struggles as they have an intense need to be in charge, and they will instigate needless arguments and often accuse you of being the one who's causing the argument, especially when you go and ask them about something that they don't want to discuss. They're going to turn around and say, I don't want to argue with you, and then instead of discussing the topic at hand, they're going to change the subject and distract you any way they can to cause that frustration and resentment within you. And then when you react badly towards them, they're going to stand back all calm, act shocked, accuse you of being the crazy one, and claim that's why they never want to discuss anything with you, because they fail to recognize the part they played in the conversation, in the situation. They'll go all out to create conflict rather than answer a simple question. They will mock you with noises. So when you're trying to speak to them, they will have their say, and then they will walk off humming and singing away to themselves. Or when you see people that they are envious of, they will sit there tutting at those people, mocking those people. Narcissistic people like to belittle people, to make people feel unimportant. They have that condescending tone, and it's all designed to boost the narcissist's own ego. They always have to be right. They're very arrogant. They don't self-reflect. They have that grandiose self-importance. They want to be recognised as great, so they will go to great lengths to prove themselves right by creating that conflict, by not answering a simple question. Rule 1, a narcissist is always right. Rule 2, if they're wrong, rule 1 applies within their minds. Walking ahead, metaphorically and literally. Not all narcissistic people literally walk ahead, and not all people that walk ahead are narcissistic people. However, as narcissistic people prioritize their own self-importance, their own needs, their own requirements, their own sense of superiority, they will walk ahead of you for that dominance and control. And also there might be people out there that don't know you exist, so they don't want to be seen with you. Rewriting history to distort facts and maintain a carefully crafted image that they're selling to the world around them. This is where they're going to gaslight you into utter confusion, where you feel like you're going crazy because you're remembering events completely differently. Now, we can all go to the same event and have a different perception of how that event went down. A narcissistic person will deny any knowledge that you went to that event at all. They will provoke feelings such as jealousy within you, and then when you go to be open and vulnerable and discuss those feelings with them, they'll attack your feelings and accuse you of being jealous. They go all out to impress strangers because they're seeking that admiration, they're seeking that validation. When they're not getting that admiration from their friends and their family, they go and find strangers to impress to get that admiration, which validates them that they are perfect, and it's their friends and family that are the problem. And if they can create envy and jealousy within their friends and family, they can accuse their friends and family of being jealous and bitter and not grateful for everything the narcissist has done to them, which makes the narcissist feel better about themselves and means they don't have to take responsibility for their behaviour, which is another one when they will play the victim. They will deflect the blame onto anyone and everybody else so that they do not have to take responsibility, so that they're not held accountable, and so that they don't have to face the consequences for their actions. And when they do face the consequences for their actions and they get rejected or abandoned, they go all out to impress a stranger, to validate that they themselves weren't actually the problem. It was the ex that was the problem. It's their children that's the problem. It's their friends, it's their parents. It's always everybody else's fault and never their own.